Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports, and today we have the head men's coach over at KCK, Coach Brandon Burgette. How you doing this morning, Brandon?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Everything is everything. Um, let's talk a little bit about your season. Tell our audience a little bit about coming off of covert, uh, how you fared this season.
The season went great. We had a lot of new faces. With only three guys returning from our COVID year. Um, having the turnaround every year in junior college with um, the guys you have to bring in every year. It takes time for the guys to gel and kind of uh, get acquainted with one another. But finished 21-10 overall, 11-3 in conference, and second in the conference. I think our schedule this year was pretty tough. When you talk about strength of schedule, um, but just playing the amount of Division I and Division II JUCOs throughout the year, um, which gave us a good test going into conference, going against some good teams that you have to face to get to the national tournament. Um, our freshmen were uh, the guys that played majority of the minutes when you're talking about producing, and I'm excited to have those guys back next year.
Uh, what kind of was it a letdown from the previous season? With you had a whole lot of energy, uh, winning. I believe you won your conference
Correct.
and had a whole lot of energy going into the playoffs, and then everything just got shut down.
Right.
Uh, how did your team respond to that this year? What they play, and how did you respond as it relates to I think a little letdown?
Um, last year I wouldn't say it was a letdown. It's just something that we can't control. Going into that year last year with having some guys returning that um, were on a championship team, um, it was hard to get in a groove of things when you're going through a lot of trials with COVID and guys getting sick and having to, prevent from getting sick amongst each other, the social distance. And then at the end of the year, in our previous year, we had, a couple guys get sick, which caused us to miss 7 games. So um, hard to recruit from just, uh, going in year by year. But when you lose those guys, um, that are moving on and then having to start fresh. It's just a different dynamic that you have to just face with just trying to overcome things that you don't have control over that are not basketball related.
Uh, what about the academic challenges that go along with that you have to deal with your players and moving them forward with all the different things going on?
The academic challenge was just guys couldn't be face to face with instructors, and some guys have to be in a position where they're learning in a classroom setting. So when you're going virtual, you're doing online classes, I think it's tougher to be able to stay on task and obviously, get the help you need. When you're talking about, you know, being able to accomplish the classes you have to move on, you kind of feel like yourself, as an athlete drifting, with just completing things that you have to do academic wise. When you can't be on campus also, just because of the social distance aspect, then it's hard for our guys to get the help they need, so the resources aren't very, very great. And then to be able to reach out to the people you need to, you have to do it virtual, and it's not the same as you would in a normal setting, being on campus and being face to face.
What's your recruiting season looking like? All the coaches are on the road right now. What's that looking like for you?
Uh, right now, we don't have to go get many guys this year as I normally would. We got 6 guys returning. We signed 3 guys already. The challenge is the same as everybody, with players still actively getting an extra year, for COVID. And then obviously you got some guys that are transferring and moving from place to place. There's still a challenge when you talk about just trying to land guys, just because there's still some high school guys that are playing AAU spring. They're still trying to find a home. And then we just face the challenge of, the Division I and the Division II aspect of junior college when, we can give less than some of those places. So we're just competing with some other schools and just trying to find the right guys that fit.
So this upcoming season, what are you looking forward to?
Upcoming season, just looking forward to having another good year. I know obviously your years are up and down, but just trying to stay consistent. This year was my first full year going through the whole year without any hiccups when you talk about, the COVID years we had. I think we got a special group coming back with some talented guys. The group we had, 4 guys that were all conference guys. I think they are expected to do really big things next year. You look at our conference every year, it gets tougher. We added 2 new teams to our conference, which made it our conference really that much stronger in the aspect of just trying to get to the national tournament. So I think those guys are eager to win and eager to get better. And then once we put all the pieces together, I think, we have a chance to be really good.
I'd like for you to mention a couple of your athletes that you're high up on and what they do for the team.
Our leading scorer coming back, Bradley Lightborn. He's from Bahamas. He's a combo guard. Does a good job of just getting to the rim using his body. Shoots the mid-range really well. He has a great body for a guard when you're talking about, being able to play multiple positions and guard multiple positions. We have a 6'2", 6'3" guard out of St. Louis. He was another guy that was an all-conference guy, big-time athlete, slasher, really focusing on just, working on being a catch-and-shoot shooter, but just adding, understanding the game from an IQ standpoint of just letting it come to him and being what he is and using that to his strengths. We have a returning point guard. He's from the area, from Kansas City. He went to Raytown High School. He's had a great offseason, I think. He's gotten more comfortable with just his pace, and then obviously being able to be a shot maker on the perimeter. Shoots the ball better than he actually allows himself to shoot. I feel like he needs to shoot the ball more. But I think those 3 guys, alongside of another kid we have from the Bahamas as a shooter, I think those 4 guys that played a lot of minutes for us last year are going to be really 4 guys that people are going to really notice next year when you talk about who's coming out just of our conference and our league.
Talk about your coaching staff a little bit.
Coach Gossett, this is his first. He's just completed his first year with me. He's been at North Central Community College, which is right down the road. He's been at Emporia State, coached NAIA at Peru State. Coach Gossett's had a great year with us this year. I think he does a good job of keeping the guys level-headed, but also making the guys better on a day-to-day basis, getting them in the gym and, working them out, training, tweaking their games, really watching film with them, and just helping them improve any aspect that he can see that's going to help them get to the next level, because he's, coached at 2 different levels, so he understands it.
Hey, Coach, go back. You reiterated this about 4 times, the difficult challenges. How frustrating is it when you've had the guy for 2 years and you just getting him ready, and now, bam, he's gone?
Yeah, no. You mean coaching staff or just players?
Yeah, no, your players, and that's your job. You understand that, but it's
Right.
when you was talking about the challenges, and everybody has to deal with it that's in the league or the conference. But
Sure.
how did that feel personally?
I've been on this side of it for 12 years, and obviously as an assistant, you put a lot of time into these guys, emotionally. You build a relationship with them. They feel like your little brothers just because you do so much that most people don't see, and being in the junior college aspect, we spend a lot of time with these guys more than people see or think we do compared to universities, just because our resources aren't the same. So being able to be around these guys a lot and obviously, prepare them for the next level, you like to see them succeed and get them to the best places they can get to. I also think, the time we spend with them to be able to help them develop, it pays off for them just because the assistants at this level just do a lot, for these guys compared to, how you get to the university level when you talk about the time you spend with guys. It's a constant grind, in my 12 years, I've been around about 40, 50 kids that I've also, been in the assistant coach shoes, just helping guys. A lot of people didn't know, used to cut hair for guys, just, doing whatever it takes to keep these guys, in the position to understand the real world. But not only that, just help them be better people. Because a lot of times most guys come to this situation and they don't have father figures, they don't have people in their corner. They're going through things, and you want to have a good relationship with them at the same time, just because you want to be, do whatever it takes in their best interest to help and guide.
Let's switch gears. Let's talk about what you're doing this summer, what you're doing off the grid as it relates to the sport and the youngsters coming up in the game.
We're going to do our first annual or first time, I wouldn't know if you call it annual, but first time kids camp. We want to, kind of give back to the community, but be a resource for them. I know they haven't done a ton in the past when you talk about just giving back, but not only giving back, teaching the basics and helping, the community out. Being a college over on this side of the Kansas City, Kansas side, just want to get kids in the gym. Want to reach out to all the elementaries on this side of the community and middle schools to just have kids come out. Because I think that also too, that if we can reach to the younger generation, to give them, some light and a guide to say, hey, this is a junior college in your backyard, a way to get to college, basketball going to take you a lot of places, but also it helps generate people coming to our games, helps the population be able to watch, the guys we bring, and it gives these athletes on this side of town, someone to look up to, and then also guys to remember, that we have in our program.
What's the name of your program?
Well, just Kansas City, KCK basketball, just in general, not just.
All right. And how can people that would like to support these sports cost a bunch of money, and right. From my perspective, I know where I come from. You don't have no money. Coach need to pay my entry. Coach need to, and that's why coaches be broke to a degree. And what can people that want to help in this endeavor do, and how can they contact you if they want to contribute financially?
So we'll post a link. It'll be on our Twitter page, which is KCK_MBB, which stands for men's basketball. And then our social media Instagram page, which is the same as our Twitter page. It'll be a registration link and flyer that'll go out to all the elementaries on this side of Kansas City, Kansas. and then also Kansas City school districts, just so they know about the opportunity in the camp that we're going to have. It's going to be a 2-day camp from 9 to 1, and we'll just basically be teaching all the fundamentals of basketball, shooting and dribbling and passing, and then having games towards the end of the day. But within that, the cost is $60 per camper, and it includes a T-shirt.
Excellent. So, in closing, what would you have to say to our audience?
Just want to let everybody know that, Cascade Sports does a great job, especially in our community. Want them to keep subscribing to the YouTube, but also, appreciate you for doing everything for, our generation and, the kids in the inner city, just because they need outlets to be put in a situation to where they're getting noticed. I think social media is a big thing. The media has become a big thing, and, it's gravitating towards the attraction of, just the interaction of our athletes being known and noticed, through media outlets.
Well, as we conclude, and we always say at the end of the day, Cascade Sports, we go hard in the paint, and that's no joke.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.